Hey, 7th grade. This is just a quick quiz to give you a heads up on some of the information that you need to know for your test, math test on Wednesday. So math test 15 is on Wednesday. This is supposed to be a 4-page test, 2 papers, 2 sides, but they did not send all of the right information. So your test is a little weird because it starts, I think, at number 41, part B, number 41. So it skips a bunch, and that's just the way it's going to be. So this is your math test will be 1 paper, 2 sides, numbers 41 through 92 looks like. All right, and this is some of the information that will be on. This test is on Wednesday. Test 15 in math is on Wednesday, but there's a lot of information to make sure that you have memorized, so I'm going to give you that today so that you can be ready for that. Test 15 in math on Wednesday. And here is the info, some of the info that you need. You need to know your relationship of weights and measures, relationship of weights and measures, right? So you have length, time, liquid volume, dry volume, amount, weight, and Bible measures. And what I mean by knowing the relationship, there's a bunch of stuff that you already have memorized, but make sure you do. So for the length, it's how many feet in a yard, how many inches in a foot, how many feet in a mile, how many yards in a mile. All those things memorized. Time has to do with 60 seconds in an hour, 24 hours in a day, 5 days in a week, how many days in a year, how many days in a leap year, all of those relationships, okay? Liquid volume has to do with gallons, pints, quarts, cups. What else? Teaspoons, tablespoons, fluid ounces, just all the relationship of that. Dry volume has to do with bushels and pecks, pecks and quarts. So have all those things memorized. Page 348 has all of this information. So if you're rusty, if there are a few things, if you're like, oh, I forget the pecks and quarts and those kind of things, 348 has all this information. All right? Amount has to do with how many in a dozen, how many in a score. All right? Weight, pounds, tons, ounces. That's your basic units of weight, no matter how many pounds in a ton. Bible measurements, cubits, furlongs, okay? All those things that you have memorized, but brush up on it because they will need to be memorized. There's a whole list of things, how many inches in a foot, how many feet in a mile, how many pecks in a quart, how many inches in a furlong, inches in a cubit, things like that, okay? So check that out. It will not be, 15 cubits equals how many inches. It's just going to be the basic memorized amount of things, the relationship between feet and inches and stuff like that. All right? So all of that there. You also have angles. A right angle has how many degrees? A straight angle has how many degrees? How many degrees in a rotation? When it says rotation, it just simply means a circle has how many degrees. A rotation is a circle, and we know that that's 360 degrees. Okay, things like that. Your temperatures. Know the 2 temperatures for boiling point of water. It doesn't say of water, it should. Boiling point, normal body temperature, and the freezing point of water. Know those 2, the Celsius and the Fahrenheit temperature. This is all of this stuff is on page 348, except for these formulas then. Know the metric prefixes and their numbers. For example, know that centi equals 0.01. So you have those, 6 prefixes? Kilo, hecto, deca, centi, deci, centi, and milli, and know the numbers that go with them. Okay, so it will either have centi and you're supposed to put 0.01, or it will have a number and you're supposed to put the prefixes. Prefixes, not CG for centigram, but the actual prefix, centi. kilo, and things like that, all right? And these are the formulas that you need to know, all right? Memorize these formulas. These are pretty basic, simple formulas here. The area, rectangle, triangle, square. Perimeter, square and a rectangle. Circumference of a circle. Circumference means a circle. So know the formulas to figure those out. Know what this symbol means. This symbol equals what decimal number? Okay, know that. Then there's also a section on reading graphs. There will be line graph, pictograph, bar graph, and circle graph. And you're just supposed to answer the questions about them. You do not have to draw any of these. Just answer the questions off of reading the graph, be able to answer the questions. There will also be 4 different kinds of problems, like x plus 25 equals whatever, and know the steps that you need to know all the steps for those. X plus 5 equals 15, or a minus 7 equals 25, or 6x equals 24, or b over 6, whatever it is. Know how to know the steps for each of those. 348 has most of this information on the board here, and there's a page with the formulas too. You can find them, the temperatures, the metrics, prefixes, and numbers. You know those things, you should be fine on your test. All right, test is on Wednesday. Test 15 in math on Wednesday.